All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Town of Rhinebeck Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for May 20th of 2026. And I just want to note that we have 4 folks here, so we have a quorum. And if there hadn't been a clerical error made by the board last month, we would have had our 5th person, Catherine Clark, who is sitting in the front row, and I just want to say thank you, Catherine, for coming back. Catherine has loads of experience. She was, what was it, 5 years, 8 years? How many years? 5 years. She was on the ZBA, and I was able to, well, maybe it was just a week long, I don't know, you just decided to come back, which is wonderful. So she is fantastic. It's just wonderful to have her back. She was a great board member, will be a great board member going forward, and you'll be official, I guess, in June. So, great, and it's wonderful to have you back. The minutes, did folks have a chance to take a look at the minutes? They looked okay to me. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments? Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as...
You seconded.
Oh, you're second? Okay. Okay, I make a motion that we accept the draft minutes as presented for the board meeting of April 15th, 2026. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All right. Okay, so we have 4 new applications.
Yeah, it's down now. Yeah, thank you. I think.
Okay. So we'll start with them, and the first one is case number 1099, Michael Broad. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Good. So what we do here, I don't know if you've been involved in this before. What we are going to do tonight is just take a look at your application, see if it's sufficient for us to accept. If it is, we'll accept it, and then we'll set up a public hearing. So if you could, what we would ask is that you come up to the microphone and explain what you want to do. And we have TV over here, so the public who's not here can see you, but just briefly explain what your application entails.
My application concerns a fence that I had built not knowing that I needed a permit for it. So I've gone kind of backwards through the process of making applications for permits and for variances to the planning board. But what essentially it amounts...
Excuse me, is it in place?
Yes.
Oh, it is, okay. I did not know that. I mean, there were some...
About 308.
Yeah.
This is my barn and studio and my daughter's. And the wood fence, as you can see, runs this way to here, and it spans the property that way, and then goes along the front to about here. It wasn't, when I constructed it, it turns out that I installed the fence backwards, that the finished side should be facing the public. Only reason I did it is I wanted a smooth side on the inside because I work within this space. So I went back and said, I'm happy to put a finished facing on the fences that are currently up. They also exceeded the height limits because I was unaware that I had 2 front yards because I'm on a corner property, so when I assumed that the rear yard could be 6 feet, it turned out I made it a little higher than 6 feet because I wanted to have the bottom of the fence above the ground so that it wouldn't impede any storm waters that come through the property from the agricultural field that is pretty much over here. There's about 60 acres of hay that's planted, and it all drains toward the wetlands, which are along here. So what I want to do, of course, is make it correct to meet the requirements, and therefore I submitted, the applications for variance that Brian Tam helped me figure out, what I actually had to ask for relative to what I had already constructed.
Yeah, do we actually have photographs? I saw the 3
This is from Google Earth.
Okay,
So
because I didn't see.
don't know if this like what the fence looks like now?
Yes,
That's the height and everything?
yes, that's the fence that goes from 308 to Patton Road.
Yeah.
I looked at it online.
And then this is off of Patton Road.
Yes.
And this,
His fence in the front, I pulled a permit for, and it maintained that it was 4 feet high with the 2-inch space between the planks.
Was that part of the application?
this is from Google Maps.
That's from Google, because
Yeah.
I have some black and whites here, but they're not showing this stuff.
Yeah, this is the photos that were submitted with the application.
Yeah.
I have some regular photographs, if you want to share them.
Yeah, and Mr. Abra, that's what I was going to ask, and by the way, this is very common. We typically ask for either renderings if something hasn't been put up, or photographs, in this case where something has been put up. And so I was going to request more photographs showing how it looks. Well, we'll go out to the site and take a look at it and all that kind of stuff. But the photographs we had, just for it wasn't enough for me, and I just wanted to get more. It doesn't mean we won't accept your application. We typically accept applications subject to getting additional information. So that's
I understand.
that's where we're going to go, I think.
The other thing I considered when I built the fence was the property is subject to considerable amount of pollution from 308. Besides the exhaust from traffic, there's also the noise pollution and the light pollution. So I didn't make the requisite spacing between the planks because at night it can get very crazy with the light coming through the fence. So that was the whole point. And this fence,
Did you put the fence up yourself, or did you have somebody do it?
I did it
When did you put it up?
a couple of years ago at least.
Was it a couple of years ago? Is it just Brian passing by who saw it?
I guess.
Or sometimes sometimes a neighbor.
Somebody came, the neighbors have all submitted letters in support of the fence. So
Strange.
they're in a file somewhere.
And again, going through the application here, I didn't see the letters of support. Letters of support or any information
Yes,
we get?
they're on the electronic form, there were 3 of
Okay,
them.
I got the
Yeah,
paper.
I can forward them to you.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 letters were provided. They were by Charles and Alexandra McInhell, Andrew Tremblay, and Hal and Betty Landis, all expressed support and an understanding of why the fence was
Right.
erected.
And that's important information, is to find out what your neighbors think.
Oh, yeah, no, we're all relatively friendly with one another.
Is this the property that they both wrote together and it's a triangle, right?
Yes,
And does it have those cones on it?
yes.
Yeah, I go by there a lot. I didn't even notice the fence.
I go by there a lot, and I never noticed the fence.
Do you want to have those being, do you have copies of those, or would you like us to?
Yeah,
make
maybe.
copies?
I think these are in the file.
I can scale them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can do it.
I can always print more.
Okay. Questions? Concerns?
I just don't know how it comes up 2 years later. It's a strange.
It happens.
Yeah.
How about the additional photographs? Is that sufficient for everybody to consider? We're going to come out there anyway, it's up, so at least we can see.
So will you make an appointment or will it be?
Yes, no. We're just going to sneak over and,
Climb over the fence.
yeah, usually we do
See
it
how good
like,
that's deterring people.
we do it about 3 o'clock in the morning and then, we verbally harass and stuff. No, okay.
I don't know
I
what
mean,
else to say.
There's nothing else to say, it's a simple application, and for my purposes, I think there's enough information here, especially with the additional photographs. So, what do the rest of the gang here think?
Agreed, I think it's just seeing it
Yeah.
is key.
It's not blocking any water flow or anything, right, you put it up, so you're not blocking any water flow or anything?
No, I
You already
will
mentioned
pay
it.
particular attention to that because Richard Monderleaf came over to deliver gravel and he pointed out where the groundwater would be coming from the field because it all slopes toward the wetlands. So that's when I made at least a foot to 18 inches between the bottom of the fence and the ground.
Did you get a permit for that gravel? Just kidding.
You
You see,
can't help
this is what
yourself.
Catherine missed. I mean, this is why she,
That's why she came back.
that's why she's coming back.
But actually, so speaking of, did you talk to DEC at all about it? Just because I noticed that you do have
Yes,
wetlands on the property.
I emailed them, and it was interesting, when I first moved here 20 years ago, I wanted to dredge some of the wetlands out, so the guy I called, Walter, he's passed away, he said, well, you should check with the DEC before we do anything. So I said, okay, so I called them up, and they sent a biologist and an assistant biologist out. And I was fascinated. I asked him, well, it's a wetland, what can I do? Can I clean it? He said, well, yeah, you can clean it. You can take out the dead wood. Can I put anything in it? She said, well, yeah, you can plant stuff in it. And they sent me 2 catalogs that contain plantings that would be suitable for wetland environment. And I thought, this is pretty good. So that was my introduction to the DEC.
Did you talk to them about the fence?
I wrote to them and I told them what we were doing, and I had Michael Nowicki come out to
Delineate the wetlands.
delineate that part of the wetlands, because the wetlands are on what would be the west side of 308, and they come under 308 through a culvert and then go through our property. So the fence maybe is 20 feet of the fence is in front of the wetlands.
And DEC, when you emailed them, didn't say you needed a permit or anything for the fence from them?
No, they haven't gotten back to me.
Okay, but you've been in contact with them?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And I copied Gretchen on my emails and communications with them.
Good, good, okay.
Well, I think there's enough here certainly to accept the application, and I don't know that we really need any additional stuff because we have additional photographs.
Yeah, and it's erected, so you can be.
It's erected, we can take a look at it, and Gretchen already has the information that he sent to the DEC, that is helpful. So I'm going to make a motion that we accept the application. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, I believe the next meeting is June 17th, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you be here on June 17th?
I will be.
So what we're going to do is, since we have accepted the application, we're going to set the application down for a public hearing on June 17th. Your neighbors, 3 of whom certainly know about this, and whoever else is within a certain area will be notified about this, and they can come and give their input, ask you questions, or do whatever. And that's what happens. So you'll just go through the same kind of spiel on the 17th. Once we hear from the public, we like to do the site inspection afterwards because we like to hear what concerns the neighbors might have. So we'll come out and at a time that's convenient for you, typically it's a Saturday, and we'll just take a look at the banks, and then we'll have a resolution for you after that.
Excellent, thank you, I appreciate your time.
Well, we appreciate your time and your application, and so we'll see you here on the 17th.
Terrific,
All right, great.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
But we still have
We would have had the pointer.
Oh my gosh, you took the pointer?
Now we're going on
2 points
to
from.
present.
I think he was just nervous.
Yeah.
Give him,
No,
you know, he's in it. With some of the people we were praying with. All right, so just some housekeeping kind of things.
So this should go in front of the planning board for a
Yeah.
special use permit, because it's a fence that doesn't allow
Yeah.
spacing between it. So Gretchen, have they applied for a planning board? Okay. So planning board will take it up, and we can let the planning board take lead on the seeker.
Anytime I can shirk my responsibility, I will do so and give it to the planning board, so we can do that. All right.
And then it just needs to be referred to the planning board as well.
Okay. And we talked about renderings and all that, but it's up. So
And photos were provided,
Photos were
colored
provided, so
photos.
all the rest of the stuff that we were gonna ask for, okay. Who would like to take a look at this and be the point person on this very complex matter?
I can do that.
You already left.
I felt someone staring at me.
Not me. Okay, so that's number one. All right, so the second application, the next two applications, I'm going to have some things to say about, so bear with me, all right, tolerate me if you can. The next application is case number 1100 Charles Frenny, 172 Noble Road. Mr. Frenny, would you like to come on up here? Before you get into your application, I just wanted to hold some things for the record. Okay. You were here back at, was it 2018?
2018.
2018. And back in 2018, I recused myself from this, from Charlie's then applications, another application for the same property. The reason for that was this. Charlie was an officer of Central Hudson Gas and Electric. I was a partner at a place called McCabe & Mack, and Central Hudson was my client. So it seemed like there might be a conflict, and of course there was, so that's why I recused myself. However, since then, Charlie is no longer with Central Hudson. I have become blissfully retired. McCabe & Mack does not function any longer. That's the law firm I was with. They don't represent Central Hudson because they don't. So the facts that led to the recusal back in 2018 no longer exist. So I don't feel that I have to recuse myself from this application because of those changes. However, if you feel uncomfortable with me sitting on this application, I have no problem doing that, or if any of the board members feel uncomfortable. Again, I don't think there's any reason for it, but I just wanted that out there, and actually I didn't even know, I had forgotten about it because it's a while ago, and Kim reminded me this afternoon that I had done that, which was appropriate at the time, but now I don't think there's any reason for it. So, are you okay with that?
Comfortable.
Okay. Rest of the gang? And Kim, I know we talked about it.
Yeah, I
as
don't see
counsel.
any issues at all.
I don't see any issues at all. All right, with that long-winded explanation, if you could just explain what your application is about, what you want to do, and take it away.
Okay, thank you. So I'm seeking 4 variances, area variances on my property to be able to build a 1.5-story, 2-car standalone garage. It's 24 feet by 30 feet. Given the nature of my property, there are really limited locations that I could build the garage, and actually, even if I had another location, likely result in the need for variances as well. I recognize the application needed renderings, and I received renderings about an hour ago, so I will email electronic copy to Gretchen, but I can provide you.
And
Thank you.
So the design of the garage is consistent with the design of the house. So-
and maybe if you want, you can use that fancy little pointer and explain to the audience and the people in TV land what you want to do.
So this is the location of the garage. Obviously, that's the location of the house. And really from, I guess, about this point back, the property slopes up relatively steeply here. So finding a location to put this without the need for another driveway access, this seemed to be the best location. Over in this area, obviously, there's an easement for the town, for the village water line, so I didn't want to impede upon that. And in this area here, again, I would be still needing variances just based on the location. I would say that would be the best place without the need for an additional driveway access.
Is there any excavation, things like that? I kind of remember the old application, I think you didn't have to excavate and do stuff.
The excavation for which was intended to be a pool house, and then COVID came and turned into my wife's fitness studio. So the excavation actually far exceeded the budget of the whole project because of rock and things of that nature. So there's a pretty, from my experience, there's a pretty strong rock ridge that I know about that kind of runs through the property like this. So I'm sure I'm going to hit rock in here just to try to level that side off, although it's relatively level, but I'm thinking I can still get some rock in there. And it's just a slab foundation, so hopefully that's going to be relatively reasonable.
Okay, and I see from your cover letter that there's not going to be any living space or anything like that.
No,
It's just storage on top.
Right, no water, there'll be electric. The electric service for the house comes in along the driveway to the house. So my intention is so the electric service comes up here to the house. So it's a 400 amp service. It's my intention to, at this point here, to have, instead Hudson owns the electric service because it's a URB subdivision, cut into the electric service there and put the meter for the house and this garage on the garage, and then from that point we'll continue back to the house. I'm hopefully, or in the future, put a generator in. So if I put the generator in this area here, I can serve the garage and the house as well. So that's my intention on that.
And the proposed generator you have on the plan, is that?
I put the location of the proposed generator, and the generator is not part of this application.
And just for, I wanted to know, because I saw that, I wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be another need for a variance. So in Rhinebeck, one of the recent amendments a few years ago was that if a generator is used for emergency purposes, it's not subject to area and bulk regulations. It might still be required for like aggregate square footage, because that's not really an area in bulk. So you just to be mindful, if it's less than 50 square feet, is not included as part of the that
The
aggregate
base
structure.
you're talking about, is a concrete base?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a lot of that. I mean, anybody who wanted a generator had to come before us. So the law was finally changed to require a certain size,
Okay.
which got rid of all of the generator applications.
Well, except for Rhine Cliff.
Except for
Pine Cliff still has to come, as far as I understand, from the generator.
My wife
We're very protective.
very much wants a generator. Given my past work life, I resisted it. Saying, guys, you can't trust me. Get the lights back on.
So there's a garage already?
So there's the garage part of the house.
Yeah.
It's a three-car garage, and it's pretty tight. And so I have a tractor and then 2 cars and then 2 other cars. But this, I would actually be able to, when the 2 cars are in this garage, I'd actually be able to get in and out of each car without having to move one or the other, which I really can't do here.
And the second floor is going to be used as a...
It's just really storage, and I would probably, I don't want to call it a workshop, but, when I work on little things, I don't have a place,
Yeah.
so I probably use it for that.
Is the garage going to be heated?
Yeah, so I probably heat it with a heat pump.
Any particular reason, just because of the quality of the vehicles that are going to be in there?
I think just, from a battery perspective for the cars and things, that keeping it heated in the wintertime is helpful. But just having a heated space, then I don't have to worry about liquids freezing and things of that nature.
And I had a question, you had another easement that was located, I think it says another easement, what
Yeah.
is that
It's a-
easement?
It's a town easement for
Oh.
culvert.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay,
matter.
cool. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to show that.
Yeah.
Has this been staked out?
Um,
Give the stakes to where its general location, where it's going to be?
Yeah, so I had one corner marked out that where that cone is, where the architect used that corner.
So, as you probably remember, we'll need to have everything staked out and
Okay.
do the site inspection. Just to see exactly where it's going to be.
And staking it out, then I want to get the surveyor to properly stake it.
Right. Yeah, we'll need that, but that's
Yeah.
down the road.
Okay. Yeah, he's getting up there in age, so please go on.
It's not going to be that long.
Yeah.
And then these were just the elevations that were provided? And the floor plans?
I guess it's called 1.5 stories because the second floor is not, it's footprint built up first.
Clarifying that.
It's not 1.5 stories in height, it's
Questions, concerns?
Can
Additional
I ask you the
information?
engineering questions as to water? Are you going to deflect the water in any way to hurt your neighbors or anything?
I mean, like water runoff,
Yeah.
and I don't know if there's much water runoff other than just, the watershed in the area. I mean, it doesn't, the biggest water runoff I actually get is on the other side of the property where it's really,
I was just wondering, are you going to change the flow of it when it
Yeah.
comes?
you shouldn't change it. I mean, just obviously drains around the garage so it doesn't flood. And I get so much water, in the back that orientation.
Isn't it kind of like the last project had kind of almost built into a hill, kind of?
Yes, we built, I don't know if it's called Ridley Rocks. I had to use an excavator to lift the stones, that's how big they are. And it's pretty high. But then you get so much water went off here when the swimming pool was put in, the water would run down, and after every storm, it would be a mud pool. So I ended up putting like a swale in over here as a little catch basin, and the line that runs out. And you can see between the swale and the small catch basin that after heavy rains, it's just flowing.
Anything about changing topography to have this built that will change the flow of water on the property? That
On
might
that
affect your
side,
neighbors.
yeah, that's, when you come out, you'll see that where the garage is going to be built, if you look up, it's almost like there's a cliff to the next property. So it's, I think in one of the photos, you might be able to just see part of that house. So it's very, there's a very steep drop off there. So I don't usually see the water coming through my property. You see this house here? Yeah, right here, that's a very high ridge. And then low back in here. So I really don't see the water coming this way at all. It may be running that way, I just never noticed.
That'd be towards Norwood anyway.
That is towards Norwood there, right? That house is on Norwood. It's like right at the corner of Norwood.
Can you go back to some of the property lot line,
Like the aerial?
the aerials, just to see, the parcel that starts 127 there, that's the house that overlooks the
Right.
house we were just looking at?
Right.
And then what's in the parcel that's right above that?
This one, there's a house that's facing Berber Road. Can't really, you can see it in the winter time from my house, but it's really, really high up. They, in fact, from their back porch, they're looking on my roof.
So it's far from your lot line?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can pull up parcel access if you'd like there.
Yeah, I was just curious how, since that is part of the application, how far it is from, that it's in the setback.
That would be this house here.
Right,
This
that's-
is vacant.
But the 115 or 149, that house is not in any way,
Yeah, one of the things you need to.
That's the one let me see.
This is the
Where
one,
am I?
so here, right here is the
Yeah.
building where you want the garage.
Right,
And one of the variations you need is the side yard setback.
yes.
So this is the house
The house
that's.
is right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
But they're up high, so, from that angle.
here's the house here,
Yeah, they look.
and
they look
here's
down.
the driveway.
Thanks, yeah.
You can see just that there's a ridge. Yeah, that's the house there.
I presume you're not going to impact the septic from the rear.
No, except from the front yard and trying to stay away from those things.
Be a good idea.
Over there.
Okay, any questions, concerns, additional information?
With the renderings that were provided, I know sometimes the board likes to kind of see how it looks also set within the property, with all the other structures. I didn't know if that was something you might want to address.
Okay. And that's, I was on the fence on that, but that wouldn't be a bad idea, is to, if you can give us a rendering that shows basically how the whole parcel is going to look, where the different structures are and how the garage is going to look on the property.
So you want to see the house?
Yeah, and these guys can do it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna try to, I have to provide them the photos, but I'll probably get my neighbors here to get a photo, barn up back. Because the property's long,
Well, do the best you
Yeah,
can, if you can. I mean, you've given us, we didn't have to before, and we're going to request them, so if you can give us something that really shows
I'll try to
how
take
it's.
some pictures tomorrow.
Yeah, and we're going to be out there anyway, so we'll at least see where it's staked and the rest of it, but it's always nice to see how it's going to look vis-à-vis the other structures and the entire property that can be done.
Yeah.
So, subject to that, I can make an application that, or make a motion that we accept the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. June 17th,
Okay,
are you available on June 17th?
I will be there.
Okay, so we'll set it up for a public hearing, subject to receiving the additional information. And your neighbors will be, as you've been through this process before,
Right.
and you'll come here and give the same spiel, and we'll either be here or not, and we'll, whoops, make, if we have enough information, we'll close the hearing, and then after that, we'll set up a site inspection, usually on Saturday within a couple of weeks after that. That's okay. Convenient to you, obviously.
Okay.
Anyway, well, thank you for, good to see you again, and thank you for a nice application.
Thanks, and I'll send those renderings over to Gretchen. and I'll get-
That's great, yeah, she'll get them to us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have to do the secret on this one.
Yeah, yeah, I don't believe this needs to go to the planning board. So it can be a take-two action under 617.5C12, which is construction of a minor accessory residential structure such as a garage.
Yep. Sounds, it applies, so I would make a motion that we deem this to be a type 2 action under 617.5C12. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
And should be referred to the Rhinebeck planning board.
Alrighty.
And also, oh, sorry.
No, no. I think that's really right, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just wanted to say for the record, so Mr. Frenny said there were 4 area variances. Those variances are side yard setback, being 15 feet from the property line. There are 2 variances required for front yard setback. One is that it's closer to the frontage street than the principal structure. And then the other one is that it's also within the front yard setback of 100 feet. It's proposed to be 90 feet, so he just needs a variance for that. Number of roof structure is limited to 3. He has currently 4 structures on there, and so this will be the 5th one. So there's 2 sheds, the pool house, and then the attached garage, because garages attached or detached are considered accessory structures.
Yeah, I'm
And
not,
then the aggregate floor area is limited to 1,500 square feet with his current structures, and then this proposal goes up to 2,982, so he's requesting an area variance of 1,482.
right. Yeah, I always question the attached garage as being, but it's just the way things are. But still, it's over. And I think he has about 3 acres,
Yes.
if I recall.
Yep,
So,
about 3 acres, yep.
there's some property here. All right, who would like to be the poll person on this? Joe? Okay. I just think it's better if it's not me. That's all.
Yeah.
It's in history. Not that I'm trying to avoid. All right, so that was number 2. All right, we have another new application, and it's case number 1101 Brookmead. And I know that there is a person here for that application. So come on up, Mr. Kemp. I do recall you. But I would, before I get going here, before you go into your thing, just as in the last one, the last application, I indicated I had recused myself because of circumstances. The circumstances have changed, so I left it open to whether a recusal was appropriate or not. I feel in this case that I should recuse myself. And no, it's nothing against you.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I don't, I like you still. No, but just for the record, Brookmead has been here before about the same issue, and I was involved in that. And when I was involved in that, you had an employee, Jimmy Stickle, and my son was beginning to date her again. The good news is, they're engaged. She's going to be my daughter-in-law.
All right.
In the fall.
Get married.
Yeah, he's getting married.
Excellent.
So that's nice. The bad news is, I can't be on this with, Jamie being my daughter-in-law in October. It's not even close. So I am going to recuse myself from this application, not because of you,
Okay, that's
but
fair
because
enough.
of the good circumstances that my son's getting married to
No,
a very
excellent.
nice young lady.
Congratulations.
And so what I we typically do in recusal situations like this is I come out and I join you poor folks until the matter's over, and I will leave it to Kara to give the backup. This is your first gig, kid.
It's my first backup gig, yeah.
So,
And your daughter is marrying, what's the relation?
no, my son is marrying Jamie Stickle, who is
His
head.
employee at the.
Yeah, she's a
Is
significant employee at Brooklyn.
Oh,
And it-
Brookby.
Brooklyn, but before, they were just beginning today,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
first had this, so I didn't think it was that big a deal. Now, with her
Now it's
age,
big
she
deal.
actually said yes, we're getting married.
Getting married at
And-
Brookby.
Well, no, we're gonna get married. Now, that is, see, now you gotta start something. Anyway, with
We can
that,
have fun.
yeah, this is,
Appreciate the endorsement,
yeah,
Richard.
we don't have any fun here, but.
We're doing
Not a lot of
well.
fun. Anyway.
What's the matter? That was a good one, actually. Let's get put down.
Yes.
Good evening, my name is Sean Kemp. I represent the community of Brookmead in connection with its appeal from a notice of violation that was issued by the zoning enforcement officer on March 4th, 2026, claiming that a couple of fundraising events that Brookmead was intending to host was a commercial use of the premises, which would be in violation of a resolution that this board previously passed, I believe, almost the resolution was passed in January 2025, but the appeal that gave rise to that resolution was approximately 2 years ago. It was June 2024. So we had a considerable back and forth between the board. I think all the board members that are here, with the exception of Ms. QL, were members. So you may remember the great effort that went into crafting this resolution. But fundamentally, I think that the basis for the appeal is that the fundraising activities at issue are not a violation of the resolution, not a violation of the express the express words that are used in the resolution, as well as the spirit and the intent. I did not leave the series of meetings that we've had regarding the resolution and the last appeal under the impression that Brookmead was precluded from having its own fundraising events to support its community foundation, which directly supports its programs. So I think that, just a common sense approach would be that that type of fundraising would be subordinate and incidental to the primary purpose of Brookmead. The events that are at issue are a Mardi Gras, a Fat Tuesday takeout dinner, a St. Patrick's Day dinner, breakfast with Easter Bunny, like pancakes with the Easter Bunny, and there was a craft fair that was scheduled for May. Certainly with respect to the dinners and the meals, I think we had, Brookmead did carry on the Mardi Gras fundraiser and the St. Patrick's Day fundraiser. Approximately 15 people attended each of those. I think with respect to the Mardi Gras, 2 or 3 of those people may have been members of the public and not employees or residents or families of residents at Brookmead. The Easter Bunny breakfast was canceled in connection with the violation that had been issued, and as well as the craft fair was canceled as well. Pending, the appeal, didn't want to inflame things. And I'd just like to note that at the last kind of round where we discussed this, what was brought to light was, you should really go for a zoning amendment. we need to bring Brookmead, everybody loves Brookmead. I don't know if that's the case. If everybody did, I don't think I'd be here. Because there haven't been any complaints from the public. I did a FOIL for town records, and there were, at least what was produced to me, didn't show complaints. Maybe there might have been one at one point in time regarding lights from a soccer field or something like that. But in any event, we are taking steps to have a discussion regarding the zoning amendment. But for the time being, and that zoning amendment process is not something that is an overnight endeavor. It takes a lot of resources and collaboration, which we're hopeful that we'll receive from the town. And, we're not looking to get any favoritism or any type of special treatment. Brookmead views itself as an instrumental part of the community, and it's really hosting these things in order to help carry out its mission. It's unfortunate that we have to be here today, but we are. I've submitted a significant amount of writing regarding our position and why we believe that the notice of violation should be struck down, essentially, or at least that there should be some type of narrowing of the interpretation, that just because something is open to the public when it's clearly a fundraiser which is like tied to another holiday, whether it be St. Patrick's Day, Mardi Gras, whatever it is, these aren't things that are happening weekly. We're not trying to have weekly dinners where we're transforming the campus into like a restaurant under the guise of fundraising. This is clearly fundraising type things. And it should be noted that these are things that Brookmead did prior to the construction of the pavilion, and I don't think we need to rehash all the history regarding that. But these are purely fundraising activities that are not meant to transform the campus into a commercial enterprise. All the money goes to benefiting the residents. So that's kind of where we're at in a nutshell. And I'm open to any questions, things of that nature.
Sean, in the notice violation, it had mentioned the dinners that you had mentioned in the craft fair. And it also mentioned a meeting, a beekeepers meeting. Is that part of this appeal?
Oh, I'll include it in that yes. I'll include that in the appeal. I'll amend papers if that need be.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a beekeepers society, I guess, and I think it consists of about 10 to 15 people. They needed a place to meet, so they let the beekeepers meet there. Apparently, because they're not on the list of organizations that were previously approved, that the beekeepers create a violation for the 10 to 15 people that come and talk about beekeeping. It's a little bit of a harsh interpretation, I think. And I would also like to cite that, or say that the last time around, and we're very appreciative of this, the resolution clearly held that the Good Ego Board, which is held by the Rhinebeck Area Chamber of Commerce, was clearly something that was permissible. The Good Ego Board happens to be one of the Chamber of Commerce's, well, at least when I was president, it was one of the Chamber of Commerce's larger fundraisers. So it would seem odd to me that we would elevate an outside organization, give them the right to conduct their fundraisers. Outside organizations can do that, but we would be precluded from having our own fundraisers. There's a little bit of a disconnect there. So again, we're not looking for anything crazy. We just want to be able to host our own fundraisers that, they're open to the community, because the purpose is to raise money. And there's a lot of unfunded mandates that are impressed upon organizations like Brookmead, whether it be from a nursing standpoint or whatever it might be, where the cost of doing business for those facilities is extremely expensive. And it's one of the reasons why Thompson House shut down. you know? So we try to do what we can to benefit the community and benefit the operation of Brookmead.
May I ask, when you host the Good Egg Award or the, something as simple as the beekeepers meeting, do those entities pay you to use the space, or are you giving it to them?
So I'm pretty sure with the beekeepers, there's no fee included at all. I believe that was probably the case with the Good Egg Award as well. I know that there may have been a cleanup fee, something along those lines, but and I just want to. That's the best of my knowledge. I'm not trying to make any type of misrepresentation. I can get verification of that for you, but it's either a nominal fee or no fee. The beekeepers, I'm almost positive it's no
jar of
fee.
money.
Yeah, it's like you know you need a place to meet, and that's that. And they might meet once a month. I'm not even sure, but I'll get that information and I'll supplement the materials. In
Okay,
the
sure. I just wanted to just make sure.
No,
we
I
were
appreciate you
including
pointing that
everything.
out.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just, so the corned beef and cabbage dinner, pancakes with the Easter bunny, and a taste of Brookmead, these were all cited?
Yeah.
These are cited? I don't, it seems like it's so, mostly for Brookmead and the people
Certainly,
there,
but
but it's, you're opening it up. I don't,
and I'm going to go back. I got to look at the meetings online, but I believe that there was some mention of like, oh, we're not talking about your own fundraising or something to that effect. I got to say, on a personal note, it's really sad that I have to be here. You know, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to move towards a clarification that makes sense. And I'm hopeful on the zoning amendment side that, you know, our efforts will end up kind of cleaning this up so that we never have to be here again.
yeah, I hope so too.
So just for the record, so as Mr. Kemp has mentioned, there was a resolution in 2025 that was issued. The question that was raised was that there was a Good Egg event that was held at the pavilion at Brookmead, and the question was raised if that was allowed. There was a 2017 planning board application where the pavilion was built, I guess, right?
Yeah, that application, just for the benefit of some historical background, without going totally into that.
I
because I want to be mindful of everybody
Yep,
else.
of course.
But so the campus contains three main buildings. There's like the assisted living, then there's the subacute rehab, and then there's also like the condos that are,
Right, independent.
I don't want to say regular living, but you know, it's senior, but they're more mobile and things of that nature. Independent living, thank you very much. And then in 2017, there was an application made to construct the pavilion. And the pavilion is the building that's at issue here. It has an adult rehab facility in it. It currently has a nursery school. And then on the other side of it, there is this community room. It also has a little cafe that serves you know, those activities, whether it be the adult daycare or the nursery school. And then people usually come over, because it's handicapped accessible, it's very easy for people to navigate. People usually come over even from the subacute rehab, those that can leave, and others that live on the campus come over. If they have family, it's like they're able to get out and almost have like a restaurant feel experience. It's like more of a cafe type setup, but the tables are the right height, there's no curbs, things like that. So in any event, to Kim's point, when Brookmead had applied for the special permit to build the facility, there was a narrative that was supplied by the architecture firm at the time, and it identified various organizations that were kind of envisioned as using the space, the Chamber of Commerce being one of them. And then the Good Egg Award came about. They had an event, it got cited, there was a violation, we appealed that, and then we have the resolution saying that, no, the Good Egg Award, we would deem that a Brookmead accessory use, which would be permissible because Brookmead accessory use was not an identified or a defined term in the approval resolutions that were issued by the planning board. So then we had to go back and figure out what was the intent and things of that nature, and Kim drafted a very lengthy resolution. And I just feel like what we're here for today is kind of flies in the face of the spirit and intent of that resolution.
So what was applied for in 2017, if you don't mind me just clarifying for the record, it was applied to be an adult day camp, and then it said Brookmead accessory uses, and as Mr. Kemp has just said, Brookmead accessory uses wasn't defined, and that's where the question kind of came about. So there were kind of, I took a quick look at the resolution again. Mr. Kemp had provided that, or I guess it was included in Brian's NOV, but it's included in the application. But there were the uses that we considered accessory uses typically is referred to as ones that are customarily incidental and subordinate to the principal use. The board in the 2015 resolution had determined that the use was assistance and care of seniors and adults, and so that accessory uses that were customarily incidental and subordinate to that use was permitted, and we kind of provided a list, like if there was activities that were kind of directly related to those residents or to the seniors of the community that were, I remember the board really focused on that. Clear nexus was a term that was used a lot. And then, so that was kind of those that were your typical accessory uses to a principal use, this case being the care of seniors and adults in the community. And then there was also community services that were specifically identified in that 2017 planning board application, which included meetings, seminars, gatherings, public activities to those organizations like Rhinebeck at Home, Leading Age, Office of the Aging, Rhinebeck Area Chamber of Commerce, which is how the Good Egg was considered, voting and blood drives. Those were based on what had been approved, and I believe the board had felt that those were what were approved and they wanted to allow those to continue. And then there were uses that were considered prohibited, which did not have a nexus or connection to Brookmead. These were craft vendor fairs, center cloth rehearsals, rehearsal spaces for orchestras, because the board had felt that those were more benefiting to the public, not benefiting to the community of Brookmead. But the resolution is publicly available, and how it was included in your application materials as well. So it's as Mr. Kemp said, it was a lengthy decision, but that's what this is stemming from.
Now, I know in that resolution, I think SAS was called out.
We did allow SAS to continue.
which is
What's allowed?
SAS.
The SASS seniors lunch.
It's a lunch that's provided free of charge for seniors in the area that can come in, and I had not attended one of those lunches until about a week or two ago. I stopped in there. And to see all these people that are able to come in and talk and laugh and have that engagement, especially having somebody that I lost recently from dementia, it's pretty touching, definitely. And then when you see that, like, that has to be paid for somehow, right? It gets paid for through fundraising. It's not, we don't charge anybody for that, for them to come, you know. So I think the two go hand in hand. It's not an abuse. We're not trying to abuse the use of the property. If we're not renting it, I mean, we came from a point where people were, concerned about us renting it out for private birthday parties, weddings, things of that nature.
I knew you couldn't help yourself.
No, but, and we're far away from that. We understand that that's clearly prohibited. And I think we're more like, just like, okay, but this seems to be a common sense use of the property, that we should not be deprived of using it. I could see again, if this was something like, oh, it's, May 20th. We gotta have a takeout dinner fundraiser because it's May 20th. Like, obviously there's no connection to anything there. But trying to get people involved with seeing the Easter Bunny for breakfast, or like a pancake breakfast, or a St. Patty's corned beef dinner that 15 people went to, I don't know.
Does anybody else have any questions? Do we have, go ahead.
I don't know what the question is. I mean, it seems as if some of these things are just a point of view. It's I know that the zoning enforcer is stepping down, and we're looking for a new one. What happens in a case like this, where if indeed Brian is gone and our new zoning enforcer takes a look at this and sees it totally different, totally as if, Easter with the Easter Bunny, breakfast with the Easter Bunny, or corned beef dinner for St. Patty's Day, it's not really this thing that we were so afraid of. It's going to be a wedding factory or something like that. So what happens when the new enforcer says, yeah, these are nice community events? I mean, it just leaves them open. I'm just throwing that out. I don't know what happens.
Well, so just as a point is that, zoning enforcement is a discretionary action. So it could be that another zoning enforcement officer might not
Right.
see this as a way. Mr. Tam has made his interpretation, that's why the notice of violation was issued. And I believe that the main crux of the notice of violation for these events was that it was open and advertised to the public. And I think that was what prompted the concern that raised it, because it was kind of bringing in the public. I know that there was a previous, one of the discussions during the last interpretation was, talking about, as Mr. Kemp alluded to previously, renting out the hall for something else, or I know that we mentioned this at the last one, but the cafe used to be open to the public, and that has been remedied and shut down. But I think that was what, it was the matter that was open to the public. That was kind of, I think, from reading the notice of violation, that was what prompted the citation to it. So I would say that you can, if you feel that you have enough information, you can accept the application as complete. And then we can also discuss scheduling a public hearing.
I feel it's complete.
We have
Yes.
a complete
We have
application.
enough information.
And as a seeker classification, this can be, it really kind of falls under 617.5C37. It's listed as an interpretation of existing code, rule, or regulation, but it's really an interpretation and an appeal, so I think that's the appropriate classification. So if you agree, you can make a motion to classify this as a type 2, as under 617.5C37.
Can I just say type 2?
Yeah, make a motion for type 2, and then we'll just include it.
Classify just
Motion to accept it.
motion to accept, yes, first we
Oh,
need a
okay.
motion to accept the application. I'd like to make a motion to accept this application. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then a motion as a type 2 action?
To make a motion that we classify this as a type 2 for seeker. Do I have All in favor?
A second.
Do I have a
I have
second?
a second. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
I got a question now. Is three's enough for a quorum, right? I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we can also schedule a public hearing if you're available for June 17th.
So I do have currently an all-day mediation scheduled in White Plains. It would be at 6:30?
Yes. I mean, we usually schedule the meeting for 6:35, so I don't know what other applications. We'd always put you towards the end of it.
Yeah, if I could be towards the end, that may be a little bit helpful.
I'll put you as the last public hearing.
Okay, fair enough. Although, do we know how many public hearings are already on? There
Well,
might
we
be
have-
a
we
fair
have
amount of
four-
people that show up last time.
Probably
or
be
is
at
it-
least 4.
Yeah, there's 4 new applications which will likely be up for public hearing.
What's the July meeting?
July would be
15.
July 15th.
Is it acceptable to
Yeah, we can
Sure.
schedule it for July 15th.
July 15th?
Sure.
I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that just in case something happens while I'm in
Of
White
course.
Plains or whatever.
Yeah, as long as that's okay with your client.
Yeah. So I think they're away the following week,
Okay.
which would be the July 19th?
July 19th is a Sunday,
Yeah, so the
so.
week of that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so July 15th?
July 15th, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to make a motion, Kara, to schedule the public hearing for July 15th?
I'd like to make a motion to schedule the public hearing for July 15th.
A
Do I have a
second.
second? Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just for the record, Scott has been informed.
Yes, I've come back, I've returned.
Return.
Okay, our last new application is case number 1102, Laurie Chalama. And I believe there's somebody here for that. That would be you, Mr. Minsky?
This is good.
He's working his way through the neighborhood.
Good evening.
This is not your first rodeo. I think you know what to do. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Mark Kerminsky, I'm here, represent Sean Namas, it's Primrose Bird LLC. This property was, I think it was at least a couple of years ago, application was made both to this board and to the planning board. There was some changes made to structures on the property. So just I'll just give a quick overview of the property. Primrose Hill Road is located here north of straight up on the map. This is the existing residence right here. There's a pool here. This was part of the previous application in front of this board. This was a garage converted to a pool house. And actually it's still, this was constructed and they're still finalizing. This is the septic system that is associated with it.
Mark, was that all part of just one application, or have you been here a couple of times?
Just
I
one.
think, nope, there's two, I thought.
Oh, that's right, you came back,
We
right?
did the pool and the fence first, and then we did the pool house with the addition on the second.
Right, that's right, yes, correct. And so those are being finalized right now. And then also, you can see the topography on the property. New York State DEC wetland KE15 is located in the southerly portion here. I will note that, application is back to this board and also to the planning board. The zoning officer had it was site plan and special permit, but I think it's just special permit. But both those applications.
What does it need, is it a scenic road?
Yes, right, and so those applications have been submitted to the planning board, so it's concurrent applications. But anyway, one of the requirements of the planning board is obviously the New York State DEC determination of wetlands. But when we did this previous application, we had it delineated for that previous application, and I did contact New York State DEC. There's the 90-day wait period. I did contact them directly, and in the application package, I have an email from them stating that this delineation is still accurate. And so, more specifically now for this particular application is so the current owners have, and Mike Harricourt is here with me also to speak to this application. But it's an orchard and some fruit trees that are located in this area right here where, I define it as the existing orchard. And so some of the local wildlife has discovered it. And so both deer and bears. Right. Yeah. And so what I did, and so this, parallelogram is defining the limits of fencing around that existing orchard. And so in order to secure it, and we also, on the plan provided, just a photograph of the orchard fence, and we've also have some renderings that are also associated with the application. The specific section of the code, related, to this application with the zoning board is, section 12538A, where in this case we're, constructing an orchard fence 8 feet in height and located 20 feet from the front yard. Sections 12538 specifies maximum height of 4 feet. And then when it's erected within 25 feet of and I have reference to the property line, not necessarily to the edge of the road, so it's reference to the property line.
Marcus, quick, I don't have it in my hard copy here. The renderings that were just, not that one, but the other renderings, were they part of the application?
Yes, they were.
Okay, so
Right.
I did put copies in everybody's folders.
they weren't in my folders.
Okay, when I was there, see, that's what happens.
Anyway.
You want to set right now?
Huh?
You want to set right now?
No.
I have the extra ones.
Go get it.
So this is the driveway. Once again, it's 8-foot high wood posts with wire fencing associated with it.
Is there, I know the property, we've been out there a couple of times. Are there any berms and things like that which would hide it from the roadway and things like that?
If we go back here, so you can take a look at the topography, Scott, it's kind of up on a hill here.
The other, if you go back to the other.
I remember the other.
Larger renderings, the ones from the road.
Yeah.
It'll give you a good, because it's actually, the fence would be up in the wood line of the locust trees that are existing locust trees and such like that.
It's
We work
right
with it,
there, right?
not try to take any other trees or anything like that.
Right.
Sit between them.
But I kind of remember the other applications, there was berm, there were.
Yeah, and that protects the pool and that fence, but yes.
Right.
But this is to protect an orchard?
Yes.
But these trees are not an orchard, right? So
Just clear that, those locust trees there, Richard.
just on the other side, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to the other rendering, where we're, like, your back would be to the house facing out the driveway,
Yeah.
we put a temporary construction fence in there with metal posts around it, just to do a substandard temporary.
Well, they've been there forever. I mean, even they were there when we did the last site inspection for the other two things.
Right, but I would say we did a temporary around the orchard, to tighten right up tight to the trees at the moment. You can kind of see that within that inset
Not seeing
within the
the
post.
orchard-y part of it.
You'll see when you go out there, because it was there, it's been there for a long time.
Okay.
And I saw them, I was there for the site
I
inspections.
just, I was a neighbor and not an immediate neighbor, but I mean, I've seen the the cleaning up of the property over the last few years. It looks beautiful.
Oh, they're pet projects, they just,
So that's the, application that is in front of this board is just it's simply for, construction of a fence to, protect the orchard.
What is Primrose Birdhouse?
That's,
I mean, I thought it wasn't for, we were looking at trying to get a.
It's called Primrose Bird
LLC.
LLC.
So it's,
Oh, that's the LLC.
I
Yes,
live in a
that's
circle.
LLC.
It's kind of,
I saw it as a.
well,
it's,
I included both, I mean, those, so the properties in an LLC, but I also included the others.
the previous owner, Kenny Leifer, made birdhouses like crazy, so it's basically to honor him, and he's the one that built the house, so to say, so that's the kind of people they are. This is, they're just, so that's how they come up with that name, so.
And Mark, you said the height is 8 feet, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, I saw in the CEO's determination it says 6'6", so I just wanted to confirm.
Right.
But he's seen these plans?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it, I don't have anything to add. Any questions from the board?
No,
No.
no. I assume it'll be staked out when we
Yes.
go out there, the usual
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I don't have any questions, but
No.
I've been out there twice at least, so. Anybody else?
No.
So I don't think we really need anything else, I think, with those additional renderings. We're good. And, so I'll make a application, I'll make a motion that we accept the application, even though Willow's not here. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. 6:17, are you available?
Yes.
All right, so, we'll have the public hearing, and we'll go through this again, and then we'll come out for the site inspection within a couple of weeks after that.
Okay.
That's when we need it staked, as you know, so.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. So it looks like special use permit is required.
Yep, and then Mark said it's currently been applied for, so
So planning board's
going
gonna get the secret determination, and it's gotta be referred to the planning board. And I guess, yeah, I just probably neglected to do it, but make a motion that we set up a public hearing for 6:17. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and so we'll see you here back on the 17th.
17, thank you again.
All right, thank you. Thank you. And I'll take this one.
Thank you.
Okay, that does it for the new applications. We do have a couple of public hearings, so make a motion.
So
Yes.
actually, we didn't designate a point person for propane.
I'll probably be assisting the board in that.
Okay.
I can't be involved.
I'm happy to be if you need a representative.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll put you down.
Okay, so public hearings, we have 3. The first is case number 1098 Beverly Payne, and so I make a motion that we open the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. I got it. Richard?
Aye.
Okay.
I was reading.
Okay. Is anybody here for this application, Ms. Kane's application? Okay. Now, I know we asked for renderings, and I believe we got them. And in fact, there's one today for me, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Maybe, Kim, you can put that up, that's the existing house, and then what's
This is the photo of the existing home, and then here's the rendering.
Did we get any input from, I know we got from the planning board responded, we said they didn't have a problem. with the
I don't,
application.
anything from WAC?
No. Anything like that?
No, I don't believe anything.
I don't
from WAC.
even believe, the only thing I saw, I think, was from the planning board, they were fine. So that's basically what you want to do, take what exists and make it into this. And basically, it's expanding the front porch so that deeper and make it more wheelchair accessible.
Yes.
But the entrance is not wheelchair accessible. You enter from the, well, there's no ramp. Basically, you're making it a little higher so you can come out of the front door and rest on the porch.
Yes.
But it's not a wheelchair accessible door from the,
From the street.
is there a ramp going up to the porch?
I think there's a second, you have another ramp.
Yeah, so it's got a,
I have a ramp on a different door, yes.
yeah, so
Yes.
basically, you're not going in that door, it's just for you to come out and rest your, on the porch.
Yes. I am physically able to go down those steps. I am not physically able to go up a step into a building or down the step out of a building because of what I need around me to do that. But I can't use this as a,
And I think I had asked you that same question because I was curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you pictures, I can't.
Oh, yeah, no, I believe you. I
Yeah,
just,
and once I get down the steps, I can't walk away, but I can have somebody there, or I can have something so that I can go on with what I'm doing. So. Plus, there is not enough room to put a ramp to code between driving.
questions?
So Scott, do you want to make a motion to open the public hearing?
I did, I thought.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been waiting for Richard to,
Oh, understood.
Sorry.
of course, anyway.
And so just, so this application was in front of the planning board on Monday night. They have issued it as a type 2 action under 617.5C11. So if the board accepts that, we'll be able to have the seeker done.
You want to take a
Yeah, you can just,
motion to accept
you
the
can motion
planning
to
board's...
just accept planning board's.
A motion to accept the planning board's determination. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And the planning board had waived the public hearing at the planning board. They didn't think it was necessary, and any public would be received here at the ZBA. And they granted a conditional approval for site plan and special use permit, subject to receiving the area variances.
And again, there's no one here for this application.
But the variance and the permit is only for doing the porch. Nothing is needed for the renovation of the rest of the house.
That's correct, I believe.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't meet code already, I believe. I don't think that the current porch doesn't meet code, and this is going to be a little bit farther out. And-
Current porch is 2 feet wide.
Yeah,
I only asked that because if we were making those changes in Rhinecliff, I mean, we'd have to like
she's,
go through so much more. Yeah.
mercifully, she doesn't live in Rhinebeck, so.
Luckily.
She lives with the planning board, just not with us.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't,
We're good.
I don't know.
All right, then,
Beyond me as to why this is a mystery.
well,
I'm not doing anything else to my house. I just want to be able to stay.
you're actually improving it.
Oh, it looks great. It looks
It
great.
looks beautiful, and the
Yeah.
renderings are really, really
Very
nice. I
nice.
just want to say that. So, with that said, I'm going to make a motion that we close the public hearing. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, so we've closed the public hearing. We have 62 days to render a decision. However, we do not do that. We render it at the next meeting, so it's 30 days. And we'll have a resolution. You don't have to be here. But if you have nothing better to do on the June 17th, we'd be more than happy to have you sit here and watch us work.
I'm probably going to be away that night, so.
Most people don't take us up on that offer,
Okay.
but that's all right. But no, thank you very much for everything, and we'll have that resolution for you at the next meeting.
Okay.
And it's actually a day or two before, it's in the public
Yeah, we
eye.
usually have the clerk post it on the website, so you'll be able to see it.
How does this, and maybe this, you're not the right people to ask, but when can I apply, or I've already applied for the building permit, but when can I move
Once-
forward with
once
that?
you get
Not
the-
until the
Once you get the
14th?
resolution.
Once you get the variance.
And then the plans from planning board have to be signed. and
Okay, well, that should probably be.
That should be done by the time you guys are.
All right, so I have to wait till June. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you very
Do you
much.
want to do
Thank you.
site visit setup? Or do you want to do this as a drive?
I think we'll do it as a drive-by. We can see it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can see it.
Wait for my goodies for me. Goodies.
And do you guys have any other initial thoughts or deliberations?
That's mine. I don't want anybody else to know.
Double fine,
Double fine? Triple, quadruple fine?
better than fine.
Yes, it's fine. So we can do a drive-by on our own.
What should we, you can get a bus and we'll go together.
That'd
We
be party
spend enough
bus
time
over.
together, so let's just do it separately.
Party before.
No, whatever.
And
But-
recording, we could join this board thing, you have a really good board, you know, sometimes we go out and have a beer together, I don't know.
I lied, I'm not
And then COVID came out.
So, anyway, so the next matter is the Moyer matter, case number 1096. Is there anyone here for that? Aha.
When you said Moyer matter, it sounds so ominous.
Yes, no more. So as I recollect, I made a motion to continue, I think I made a motion to continue the public hearing because we had some,
Yeah, well, there
Frank
was two.
Santa Maria and somebody else.
Yeah, some of the
made-
neighbors had made a statement that they felt they hadn't received the notice.
Right.
They might have been outside of that limitations, and
Yeah.
we do have the proof of the mailings have gone out. But there was also a request from the ZBA that we had received renderings from the applicant, but then you had
Right,
kind of
right.
wanted to see if the renderings would be more full of the property.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured, you know, set up the site visit, start your deliberation, so we would hold the public hearing just until those renderings were received, and then it also gave any initial neighbors that felt they didn't receive notice an opportunity to do so.
Right. And,
But
okay.
I don't believe the renderings have been
We did not
provided.
submit. any
No,
additional
and I actually went out on Saturday and did site visit, so that was enough for me, it's actually just as good. I know, I understand, because of the topography, it would have been more difficult. I think what I was asking for was, could you include the house more with what you wanted to do, kind of give it a better
Yeah,
perspective?
Seeing on site, right, once you're sort of looking at the front, that's now moving pretty quickly, so.
And we did have our adjacent neighbor send a positive letter over.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we also, yeah, it was Lisa Haggerty had sent a record, a letter for the record. It was actually sent by mistake to the village, but the village sent it to Gretchen. So it's been included. But yes, she said that there was no issues, and she felt that it was important to let people age in place, and that she had no issues with it.
Yeah, and I think Frank ultimately, at the last, reading the minutes and kind of recalling, I think you said some questions and he wasn't really opposed, he just was wondering what was going on.
His question was about the septic, if I recall, which part of this project is actually a new standalone septic field, because there's enough room on the property that's already been through Board of Health and it's in Gretchen.
Yep.
The email that basically the county just wants this ZBA determination before they will put the final stamp on it.
Yeah.
But they've confirmed they have no issue and everything has been addressed in that application.
I was out there along with Scott, and
Yeah, well,
it just
sure,
seemed
sure,
that,
sorry.
you know, it was just in a hollow. I mean, neighbors can't really see much of it. It's made total sense to me. And the upstairs was for a mom's apartment, and so she drives into that garage and then walks right across. So it was really a smart spot, I think.
The garage, the existing garage.
The existing garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also, there's stairways.
So-
that
so
allow-
Mom has
so
no
you can
stairs.
Go in the three-car garage, go upstairs and cross over.
Yep.
I noticed too that in a drive-by,
Uh-huh.
that the homes up there are very eclectic. And many
Yeah.
of them have multiple kinds of buildings and
Yep,
things like that. So it didn't strike me that it would stand out. But I mean, that it would look unusual at all in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we do take pride in the aesthetic of our home. We try to design this in that manner, that it's not some obtuse outbuilding. It's just it was meant to be an integrated part of the property, not just like emergency placement.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, did I make a motion to reopen the public hearing? Did I not? Do you remember? Uh-oh.
I didn't
Start all
I didn't hear.
All right, I'll make a motion just to be sure, that, I make a motion that we reopen the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Why
Aye.
are we reopening the public hearing?
We're not, we're continuing.
We're continuing,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because we had
I missed
these
the close
issues.
of the previous.
Yeah, we had these issues, I had an issue, we
Yeah,
sent to Marina, and we had some
well,
other things.
yeah, it was just, there was a question of another rendering could be provided, but from the site
Right,
visit, you don't
I've
think
got a
it's.
photograph, actually.
But we also didn't want to hold them up, so
Yeah.
we decided that we
Okay.
would also have the resolution
So we're
ready.
just continuing.
We just continued.
Got it, okay.
So it's continuing.
Good.
Any other questions, concerns, whatever?
No,
No?
it's great.
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. May I?
Almost.
Oh,
So at the last meeting, there was, so the applicant will need to go at some point to the planning board. We weren't sure if they were going to go concurrently with this application or not. They haven't been in front of the planning board, so we should issue a secret determination since the planning board has not.
Okay.
And
Were there some, I thought you mentioned last meeting that there were some comments from the planning board.
there were, so with an area variance, the ZBA refers it for additional
Sure.
comments, and the planning board said that there were no comments. Seeker is a state regulation.
Sure.
So typically, if there's two boards that are reviewing it, only one does the
But you
secret
took lead
determination.
agency, right?
Well, we had said that if it was going to be in front of the planning board, that they have a little bit more discretion in their site plan, so we usually defer to the planning board. Since that didn't happen, we're going to take the agency then.
All right. So the recommendation, I believe, if I'm reading the cheat sheet correctly, is that this should be determined to be a type 2 action under 617.5C12. Construction, expansion, or placement of minor accessory, permanent residential structure, et cetera, garages, which seems appropriate. So I would make a motion that we deem this to be a type 2 action under 617.5C12. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Now, may I?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so the resolution was prepared, so I'm going to read it, and you may have seen it already because Kim probably put it up yesterday or the day before, whatever. So I will read just the last portion of it. All right, and this is the resolution of the Town of Rhinebeck Zoning Board of Appeals in the matter of area variance of Michelle Moyer and Dan Coscarella, ZBA case number 1096, and it goes as follows. Now therefore be it resolved based on all the facts described above and upon the reasoning described above as follows. Section 1. The ZBA hereby grants these variances requested by the applicants. finding that the benefit to the applicants outweighs the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such agreement. The proposed detached garage and accessory dwelling unit are residential in nature and consistent with the character of the area. The requested variances are limited in scope and they have no adverse physical or environmental impact. Section 2. The granting of these variances are expressly contingent upon the following: the project being completed in accordance with the plans and materials submitted with the application, subject to any changes that may be required by the town of Rhinebeck Planning Board. Section 3. The granting of these variances shall also be expressly contingent upon the applicant's full payment to the town of Rhinebeck of any and all fees and escrow deposits due in connection with this application in full compliance with Article 14, fee reimbursement of the town of Rhinebeck zoning law. These variances shall not be deemed granted until all such fees are paid in full by the applicant. Section 4, the granting of these variances does not absolve the applicants from having to secure any other required permits and approvals. We know that you have to go in front of the planning board. Section 5, the area variances shall be null and void unless the proposed construction is commenced within 12 months of this resolution. Upon specific written request by the applicants, a time extension may be made in writing no later than 2 weeks prior to the 12-month expiration date of adoption of this resolution. The consideration to grant such extension request shall be in the sole discretion of the ZBA. Okay. Any comments? Why? But first I have to ask for your comments.
And I just have
Yeah.
so I can change it to applicants. In the beginning, I just kind of say the applicants, and then I just refer to the
Okay, whatever,
applicant.
no, forget it, whatever.
Whatever is comfortable for you,
Whatever.
but I just wanted to just.
You wrote it, so whatever.
Well, but you're approving it or considering it, so I want to make sure it fits. So anyway, I can do whatever you like. I can change it to applicants.
Surprising.
Okay. And I just, from what was, I just added the comment from Ms. Haggerty.
Okay, great.
So it's just highlighted here, that wasn't posted.
And was the site inspection by Richard and myself?
I have Richard and
Right.
yourself. Karen, you said you drove by, would you like me to include that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You drove by, you deserve mention. Honorable mention.
Drive by.
Drive by.
Points.
Okay, great. I added that in.
Okay, again, any comments, or you want to wait till Joe, or just hang out? We can do the three of us if you want.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
is easiest.
And let's just get these poor folks out of it, we suffer enough. All right, so I make a motion that we accept the resolution as read together with the corrections that have been made by council. Gretchen?
The second.
Oh, second, I'm sorry.
Second.
Gretchen?
All right, Scott,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Johnny Bolt,
There we
Joe.
go.
There he is.
Got it, done.
I forgot I shouldn't, that was a bad
Are
time
you
to
in
go.
favor? You're in favor?
Yes.
No.
You
Okay.
betcha. Thank you.
Great.
Very much appreciate
Appreciate the project.
Good luck.
Thank you. Looks like a nice project.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
You'll
the next,
receive determination, confirmation of your email or?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to Gretchen and then she'll file it and then.
Thanks, everyone.
Mom's gonna be so happy.
She is.
You're not kidding. Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, so the next matter, and I guess can we talk about this a little bit, is we have a public hearing. The last meeting, we continued the public hearing.
No, this one was closed.
the Gottlieb Bridge.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. I skipped ahead. You skipped ahead by doing the resolution, that's why I got confused.
Well, no, the resolution, I figured that since they were here, we might as well.
Yeah. No, you're right. Sorry.
You know why make the poor people suffer?
Yeah. You're
Looks like
good.
we're going, yeah.
Yes, so,
So, may I?
yes, continue this public hearing.
So, continuing the public hearing, we had a case, well, we still have a case, 1094 Andrew Samuels and Hannah Gottlieb Graham. It's before the planning board, and they requested that we continue the public hearing. We did that last time around. So I'd make a motion that we continue the public hearing. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Aye. So we'll continue it until June 17th?
Yes.
Okay.
And just for a little update for the
Yeah,
board.
that'd be great.
So I was at the planning board meeting on Monday, which the application is currently in front of the planning board. The applicant is working with the planning board's engineering consultant CPL on the driveway. They're working on some technical issues there. The two members of the planning board, Edna and Sharon, have done another site visit to the property. This was because I think previously the driveway hadn't been cleared or brushed, so this has been, they've brushed it out, so they have able to visit the property a little bit more in detail. So they went out, so this is the third site visit that's been done. They also had the fire inspector and Christian Paggi from CPL on site as well. The planning board has been trying to get the Hillsdale Fire Company out there, but they're having issues. The planning board's having issues of having the fire department come out there. But they're trying. But anyway, they have been out there. During the planning board, some of the Sharon and Edna had mentioned some overall concerns they have. They just feel like it's just such a long driveway to get to the accessory dwelling. They kind of felt that the turnaround area at where the accessory dwelling is needs to be larger to accommodate the accessory dwelling, especially if people are going to be living there, just especially turnaround for emergency vehicles.
Well, that would be up to, the fire department.
Yeah, and I think that they're working with it I think they working it with CPL as well, but that was just some of the concerns they raised. And they mentioned, they said that, the driveway's pretty steep. Edna had made a comment that, it's so wooded and pristine, and she just feels like, putting the driveway in for such a long distance and grading it and steep, that it might really disrupt it. But that's, again, her suggestion was that the accessory dwelling be moved closer and put a gazebo there, but that's being discussed with the applicant, so.
It's a interesting project. It's a complex project. There are a lot of issues there, and so the planning board needs the extra time. It's not like Barland, they need to bring in somebody.
Yeah, so that's just to say that the regional planning board is taking this,
I think the main thing is, can the fire, the fire trucks or the EMS, can they get there and turn around? Do they have it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, that's a big concern.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's a challenging, it's a beautiful project, but it's a challenging piece of property.
Yeah.
We were out there.
Yeah. What a
Part of it,
beautiful
you have to
spot,
be
what
like
a beautiful spot to have.
It's a gorgeous spot, but to get there, you have to kind of be a mountain goat almost to get
It's
there.
a gorgeous,
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous spot. But I think that you would hear it and see it just as well if you moved it 100 feet further back from the river.
Interesting you say that, because you and I were out there, and when we were in the area that was roped off, I almost felt like we were going to there was going to be an avalanche and we'd be going into the river, or the stream, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful waterfall, by the way, just a gorgeous spot. And if you did move it back a bit, it might be more stable, and you'd still have the beautiful visuals. I just leave that out there.
I think it's what they want, where they want to be.
I presume so, but you're drilling. I guess the other thing is it's so narrow, I can't even imagine how you get a fire truck back there, but that's not what that's not my.
You can't really say definitively where the boundaries are of Sawkill or the Lansing Hill.
Lansing
Hill. is there's so much wash either side of it. I would be nervous building a structure in that spot.
So just to clarify, when you said you can still see it, you mean you can still see the area that they're trying to, or you can see the accessory dwelling if you moved it up? You had said you can still see it if you moved it back. I didn't know what you meant. Like, would you be seeing
well,
it?
I understand that they want this immersive experience of being like right on the river next to the falls and everything, and I completely get that, but I think that it's very loud down there already because of the falls, and then noise travel, the way noise travels, they'll still have that experience with a lot more safety if they move it back. But then, to your point, people have engineered all sorts of very fancy things. And
Have you seen fall water?
yeah. Well, I know,
That
it's been a
one's-
nightmare.
Yeah.
It's been a nightmare since it was built, so there you go.
I can see it.
Anyway, in all this, since I have the attention of Annette, I've forgotten where we are. Should I make a motion that?
Yeah, I think we made a
Did we make a
motion
motion
to
to continue it? Okay, so it's continued until the next, and I have a feeling it's going to be continued for a bit more because, you know, you have engineers out there, you have the fire people out there, there's a lot to this. Yeah, so, you leaving?
Good, okay.
I'm gonna go home. I'll see you next month.
I will see you on the
Thanks,
17th.
Okay.
Okay, great, it's great to have you back. Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, Catherine, nice seeing
Good to
you.
see you.
Good.
I guess we pulled the border to tears, so let's finish it up, I guess. Old business. Case number 1097, Nicholas and Erica Clemente, 55 Cedar Lane. And we have a resolution for that. And I went out there on Saturday and had a very nice chat with the Clementes and also Rick
Riley, I think.
Rick Riley, who lovely, the neighbors, they love each other, they're nice people, and they agree on everything. They also agreed on some shrubbery or something or other in order to, visual blocking of it. Anyway, everybody was in agreement that it's fine. And I think they'll agree amongst themselves what to put up, but let me read it. Okay, so this is a resolution of the Town of Rhinebeck Zoning Board of Appeals in the matter of the area variance application of Nicole B. and of Nicholas B. and Erica Clemente, ZBA case number 1097. Now therefore be it resolved based on all the facts described above and upon the reasoning described above as follows. Section 1, the ZBA hereby grants the variance requested by the applicant. Finding that the benefit to the applicant outweighs the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such a grant. The proposed addition is consistent with the residential character of the area. We will have no, or should be, there will be no adverse environmental impacts, and is the minimum variance necessary to allow a functional one-story living arrangement for, am I reading the right one? Each unit? No.
There's something, there's elements of both.
Yeah, I have the,
I thought it was that they were expanding it to age in place, no?
Oh, yes, I
Were
think
they?
there was an aspect, yes, that's in the.
I can take that out.
I don't know, no, that's all right, if I don't
Yeah.
recall that, I just thought they wanted to, because they, they're a young couple with, kids and stuff like that, I just thought it was.
This was that they were kind of making it all one level. I
Yeah.
thought that I had that. Would you like to take out just functional one-story living, and we can just take out the aging for aging?
If that was part of the reasoning, I think it should stay in place, but I don't recall that, I just didn't. Yeah, so they're, will be aging in place in about 30 years, 40 years.
I vaguely remember being in there and thinking, everybody seems to be sprinkling that in their application
Yeah.
these days.
Well, I'll take out the, I think it was in the application, but I'll take it out here, just if there's.
Yeah, I don't think it really applies, because, based upon the age of the applicants and their, you know,
I think they were just
Kids.
saying that they wanted to spend the rest of their lives here, and so we're foreseeing the need to
Right.
have a single family, single
Yeah,
floor
that
living.
might have been it.
Yeah, it was not the,
Not an imminent
Yeah.
requirement.
hardly in a minute.
Okay.
So, all right, so where was it? The proposed addition is consistent with the residential character of the area, no adverse environmental impacts, and is the minimum variance necessary to allow a functional one-story living arrangement, period. The placement of trees between the new addition and the adjoining property, 54/5 Cedar Lane, tax map, blah, 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 will provide additional screening to protect the adjoining property and offer additional privacy. And I think we got, did we get an email or something from the architect or something?
Yes, the architect had provided, so one of the things that was discussed at the last meeting was Mr. Riley had mentioned the concept of putting some screening to help kind of protect the privacy, and Mr. Clementi agreed to it, so we had said that we were going to put that as a condition.
Yeah.
And I believe the architect had provided some suggested language, so I took that language and then kind of put a little bit more in there.
And she was there, and they were all talking collectively about it. Nobody had any concern about the project. It was just, you know, what do you think makes sense? And there's actually a fairly good distance between the buildings.
oh, that's.
But they both wanted it, and they're very friendly. So, section 2, the granting of this variance is expressly contingent upon the following: the project being completed in accordance with the plans and materials submitted.
I
With the-
did, yes, I have a new one. Did I not give that to you? I think I did in your,
Yeah, you passed it out.
I probably lost it.
can you read it on here?
I gave you what I was gonna pass out. Yeah.
Maybe it's in here.
It was when, yeah, it was when I gave you those, no, it's when I gave you the Miss Kane's photos. It was in that
I got the
packet.
photos. I got
That's
this.
not, that's the Moyer, that's the Clementi photo.
You want anyone? Or can you talk
This is
about it?
Clemente, yeah.
Yeah, if you go
Is this-
to the back, and then there should be something that's highlighted.
Oh, highlighted.
Like this one.
Ah,
Yeah, that's it.
Mine's not highlighted.
no. Figures.
Okay.
Should have gone to the, she stole it from me. It's my fault.
I gave it one to everybody, so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe highlighted.
I did. It's in
messing
that
with me.
package somewhere.
No, I clearly have,
No, I'm just having a little fun. that's
oh,
all.
it's part of this packet.
Yeah, it's part of the package with the cane, this,
It doesn't matter. It
Old
doesn't matter.
sticky fingers over there.
you were included.
I feel included.
No. that's-
So,
that's okay.
I'll just read it, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get out of here. Anyway,
Yes.
section 2, the granting. People are tough. Section 2, the granting of this variance is expressly contingent upon the following. A, the applicant agrees to install evergreen screening vegetation along the shared property line adjacent to the adjoining property located at 53 Cedar Lane, tax map, parcel blah, 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 maintaining an appropriate 2-foot buffer from the property line for the purpose of providing visual screening of the proposed addition. B, the applicant and the current adjoining property owner shall discuss and agree upon the species of evergreen trees to be planted and the height at which the trees shall be installed. It is understood that the anticipated trees will be installed at planting to be a height to screen the proposed addition. C, the evergreen screening vegetation shall be maintained in good condition. All trees included in this screening vegetation shall be maintained in good health and in a condition that accomplishes screening. Any plants or trees that die or fall into poor health shall be replaced promptly by the property owner with new plantings that comply with this requirement. The granting of this variance shall also be expressly contingent upon the applicant's full payment to the town of Rhinebeck of any and all fees and escrow deposits due in connection with this application in full compliance with Article 14, fee reimbursement of the town of Rhinebeck zoning law, This variance shall not be deemed granted until all such fees are paid in full by the applicant. Section 4, the granting of this variance does not absolve the applicant from having to secure any other required permits and/or approvals. The proposed structure must be constructed in conformity with the application and plans submitted. And 5, the area variance shall, the area variance shall be null and void unless the proposed construction is commenced within 12 months of this resolution upon specific written request by the applicant. A time extension may be made in writing no later than 2 weeks prior to the 12-month expiration date of adoption of this resolution. The consideration to grant such extension request shall be in the sole discretion of the ZBA. Comments?
Can I just grab my stuff?
What?
Huh? Can I just grab my stuff?
Of course.
I feel like I'm in a
This is still open to the public.
Okay, I didn't know. Nobody's here. I'm like, Mark and I were just jabbering outside, sorry.
It was, to me, I mean, again, I was out there on Saturday. The houses are, they all have a fair amount of property and set a fair amount distance apart. The addition, whether is not that much. It's a couple of feet from the side of the existing structure, and was it? I'm sorry, Rick Riley. The neighbor,
Right.
really nice guy. He was there, and the applicant was there, but it was very nice and pleasant, and everybody agreed on everything and thought it was a good idea. And it was very, very pleasant. So, good. Anyway, all right, so any questions, concerns? So I make a motion that we adopt the resolution as read. Do I have a second?
And I'll remove references to the aging in place.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, or excuse me, Gretchen?
Scott?
Yes.
Kara?
Yes.
Richard?
Yeah.
Joe?
Yes.
Okay, I think that does it for our agenda. Kim, do we have anything we need to discuss, or we good?
Nope, I don't think so.
Well, can I ask a question about the aerodrome?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's on the planning board agenda for the Monday.
The Red Book?
Yeah.
Is it on Monday, or did it already pass? There was an article in Daily Catch about it.
Yeah, there was some,
I thought it was leading up to the next meeting.
Because they mentioned there was a Daily
Probably
Catch.
Monday.
Might have been
Tuesday,
Monday.
Monday's ours. It's all ours.
Do you think it was this past Monday?
I get to
I thought they had a meeting.
But they don't have special.
I think, okay, well, in any case.
thank you.
And they're raising all the points that we discussed way back when.
the traffic and all that. kind of
Traffic, noise, extended usage, things like that. So do we just let them sift through that? Or do people who are in Rhinebeck but share those opinions, so they go to the Red Book meetings and express their opinion?
I'm not sure if the public, I didn't read the article, I just saw the headline of it. If the public hearing is open, you can certainly go as citizens of Rhinebeck, or if you want, you can go as the ZB, if the board would like, you can
I'm
represent
just
it.
figuring out what is our responsibility, if any. I know they're the lead agency, so.
Yeah, so in terms
What do we
of
need to
responsibility,
keep
I'd have to see, I don't know if seeker has been completed on them. If seeker has not been done, you can certainly submit comments. You just have to make sure that your comments are related to those that are in the seeker questions. There would be some stuff, like, there's usually, I believe, I'd have to look into it, but, some stuff about like light pollution, but there's certain subsections of that. So you have to just make sure that your comments are related to seeker, not necessarily the site plan. You can certainly go and discuss site plan as, like I said, a member of the public, or even as a ZBA, just offering public comments, but it wouldn't be related to the seeker or the lead agency.
I'm thinking more in terms of residents of Rhinebeck who are, because of the road, there are Rhinebeckians who are exposed to
Yeah,
this in the
they
same
should
way
have
as
received, if they're
so they
within,
would have received.
they should, it doesn't matter, it
Okay.
doesn't, the public hearing notices go out based on the distance from,
But just to that immediate area, so in other words.
Yeah, I think it's
imagine
probably
that
200
the
feet.
traffic doesn't just affect the people who live 500 feet from the
correct, yes.
construction, it's gonna.
I think
Right, so they wouldn't receive a specific notice, but there is, the public notice is posted publicly on the website, or in the Daily Catch, or the Daily, it wouldn't be posted in the Daily Catch,
They're
but the Daily
entitled
Catch
to-
just wrote a.
Voice their opinion, whether they live
Yeah,
within.
just,
Yeah, they don't
part of
have
the
a,
public.
they don't, as long, anyone who's interested in the matter can.
But if people from Rhinebeck express a big objection to one or more aspects, do we have to represent them in any way?
No.
We don't do anything, they
No.
just talk to Red Hook, and Red Hook says you live in some proximity and therefore you have
Well,
a
Red Hook,
stake.
I don't represent Red Hook Planning Board, but just with any public hearing, the planning board should take comments from any member of the public who's interested, whether they live here or 50 miles away, and then they can take those and consider them and apply them to their own site plan. So just because someone lives in Rhinebeck, if they have concerns, they certainly should feel free. Like I said, I'm not up to date if the public hearing's been closed or if seeker is done. I can always check that out just to double check to make
Yeah, I
sure.
think
They
we
did
are-
have the meeting on that.
Did they
The
close the
minutes aren't
public?
up.
Did they close the public
If you
hearing?
call Katie, I don't know if you talked to her yet, but Katie, she's really, really nice, really sweet, really good.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what because as an involved agency, even though Red Hook is taking the lead, I'm just.
We are not involved.
Well, so here's so you were circulated a lead agency because they may need an area variance at some point, and they may not. So that's why they were just taking precautions and included you. So if you had wanted to, I know that you had to kind of discuss some concerns, but it would have, we, as a board, we could have provided comments to them to say, these are some of our concerns that are related to seeker. But nothing needed to be done for the Rhinebeck citizens until something comes in front of the board, which might not, for an area variance, if they would need it. I don't really foresee an
So if
issue.
any of the buildings they are building needs a variance
From-
from the town of Rhinebeck.
from the town of
Rhinebeck, that's when we.
That's when you,
Got it,
yeah, so
okay,
they were
thank
just,
you.
they provided, they circulated for lead agency just because it's anyone who may have discretionary approvals, but nothing has come in front of the Rhinebeck Planning Board for that.
And none of the buildings were in Rhinebeck, were they?
I don't
Across the
believe so.
street?
It's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah,
small
we're
section of
actually
land, it's
just
not.
across the street from it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would ever be consulted, or they'd ever need a variance from us. That was my recollection.
Is it, yeah, the property line, it's funny because the property lines don't follow the road. So I haven't looked at it in a while, but yeah, I just was trying to figure out what I need to reserve space for in my brain around the aerodrome. And it sounds like nothing until somebody brings us something and says, this affects the Rhinebeck zoning code, and you guys need to make a decision about it.
On a variance of some sort, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm sorry.
No,
Good.
I was just trying to get the aging in place stuff out.
Okay, anything else? All right, motion to adjourn,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.